The novel commences with a portrayal of Leela at the tender age of 12, residing in a rural Indian village in 1918. Born into the privileged Brahmin caste, she enjoys a life of opulence and indulgence. However, she displays an air of entitlement, showing little concern for the escalating tensions between her people and the occupying British colonists. Educational pursuits hold no allure for her. Instead, her days are dedicated to self-absorption, as she admires her own beauty in the mirror. Her demeanor is, to some extent, a reflection of the prevailing societal norms and her cultural context. Her upbringing has instilled in her the belief that her future is centered around marriage and social status. Engaged since the tender age of 2 and married at 9, Leela adheres to customs that dictate she remain with her family for 3 years following her wedding. Now, on the cusp of transitioning into her husband's household and fully embracing her role as a wife, a sudden tragedy strikes. The news arrives that her husband, Ramanal, has tragically succumbed to a snakebite. Despite having never lived with him and barely knowing him, Leela is bound by tradition to embrace widowhood. In accordance with these customs, she must shave her head and forsake the vibrant, colorful saris she adores for plain attire. Moreover, she is expected to observe a period of seclusion called keeping corner, during which she isolates herself to mourn for a full year. Upon the conclusion of this year of mourning, Leela's bereavement does not abate. Her future has transformed into one of perpetual solitude. Branded as a widow, she faces societal exclusion, is stripped of her privileges, and is expected to relinquish the prospect of remarriage or having a family of her own. The mantle of widowhood, she learns, is lifelong. Leela, accustomed to a life of indulgence, experiences frustration and bewilderment at the sudden upheaval brought about by these changes, viewing them as arbitrary and devoid of purpose. Nonetheless, her choices are constrained. Her father's sternness compels her to conform to tradition. It is her brother Kanabe who displays empathy and persuades the family to allow Leela a tutor during her year of seclusion. This unexpected opportunity ushers Leela into a realm of knowledge and awareness about the broader world. Sabavan, the village school's principal, agrees to undertake Leela's education as her tutor. A progressive figure, Sabavan guides Leela in introspecting about her environment and her life. He introduces her to reading newspapers, enabling her to comprehend global events and issues, and facilitates tangible academic advancement. Freed from her prior preoccupation with vanity and self-centeredness, Leela distances herself from her heedless childhood demeanor. She channels her efforts into her studies, discovering newfound purpose and significance in her academic pursuits. Despite her dedication, Leela encounters moments of frustration and setbacks. She experiences envy towards her cousin Shani, who embodies beauty, competence, kindness, and the privilege of being wed to a prosperous husband. In stark contrast to Leela, Shani basks in the advantages and luxuries bestowed upon the wife of a wealthy man. Initially, Leela's feelings towards Shani are fraught with antipathy. Shani represents everything Leela has relinquished, embodying the aspects of life that are now forever beyond Leela's reach. Over time, Shani's benevolence manages to break through Leela's defenses, forging a bond between the two despite their disparate circumstances. Leela begins to grasp the evolving landscape of the broader world. Through her studies, she becomes attuned to the repercussions of India's enduring drought and the hardships endured by local farmers unable to fulfill the taxes imposed by the British. Her awareness extends to the activities of a figure named Gandhi, who advocates for satyagraha, nonviolent protest, against both the British colonial rule and India's oppressive caste system, a structure that Leela has benefited from throughout her life. As Leela's year of seclusion approaches its conclusion, Kanabe presents a pathway for her liberation from the constraints of widowhood. He envisions breaking away from the entrenched traditions and guiding Leela towards a life of autonomy, rather than condemning her to an existence as an outcast. Kanabe, having spent his time studying at a boarding school in the city, proposes that Leela join him to embark on a similar journey. This endeavor would empower her to carve her own path in the world. However, they are both well aware that their father will vehemently oppose this proposition. A year of academic dedication has transformed Leela. She has honed her ability to articulate her thoughts and make persuasive arguments. Summoning her courage, she engages in a pivotal conversation with her father, achieving an unlikely triumph as she manages to convey her point of view persuasively. Against all expectations, he is swayed by her reasoning and accedes to her proposal. He grants her permission to undergo an entrance examination for a city-based school. This decision heralds a transformative phase for Leela as she prepares to enter a new realm, one characterized by a more liberated and less restrictive version of India. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.